Well, I tell you what we did. A few weeks ago, we made us a little trip. And I tell you, Tate and I really don't get out and go much. We just, I don't know, we used to get out and sing different places. And, you know, he just got kind of older and not able to hold up with the pace. And we just do the television station now. We don't ever go anywhere. If we go anywhere, it's Food Giant or the dollar store. You don't see me, that's where to catch me. I tell people I loafer. I reckon I loafer at Food Giant. I just, I enjoy going, but we just don't. I don't know, you get older and you get not able to do everything you used to do, and I guess everybody goes through that. I reckon that's just normal. I took my cameras along with me, and we took us a little trip. We went up in Tennessee and we visited our friends, Sonny and Doris Vickers. Well, I'll just tell you what, it was just like a vacation to me, because, you know, if you go all the time, then when you get out, you don't think much about it. But if you don't go much, you stay at home all the time. Why, it's just like a vacation. I had the biggest time. And I took a movie camera. We sat out on the porch, and Sonny and Tate played music. And, well, you've seen that. I filmed it, and we just had the biggest time. And then she told me, she said, well, Daryl, come on in the house. I said, well, can I take my camera? Well, I took my little digital camera, and I just snapped these pictures. I'm telling you, I never saw such beautiful, amazing things. Now, I love old stuff. I don't know, maybe you like new stuff, that's okay, but I love old stuff. It brings back good memories. Back when they used to make stuff to use, not just to sell. And sometimes it just reminds you of the old way of life. But I just enjoy old stuff. So I thought that we might make us a little clip of it, and I'd show you my pictures. You know how you go on vacation, you like to show you pictures of? Well, that's what I'm going to do. Well, we got there, and well, of course, there's the front yard you've been looking at, and out in the front, their mailbox. They've got that mailbox mounted on an old-timey water pump. Now, truly, I don't remember having these water pumps. I've seen them, and I have used them, but we didn't have one. We had a well. At one house, we had an old cistern that we lived in, but I never really had one of those nice pumps. And back in those days, they were considered, they were nice. They were the way to go. And he's got neat stuff that you don't even think about, like a split rail fence. Now that's pretty neat. Now I thought that was nice. Well, it just looking around the front yard, you see a lot of nice things. It's got the eagle and the split rail fence, and of course like I say, the mailbox. It's nice. And on the porch, I looked up and I saw this, and it looks like a yoke where you hold somebody down and put their hands in those. But you know, it's a guy thing. Now that's pitiful, isn't it? Used with the animals. The back side of the porch, and we saw this absolutely beautiful old trunk. And you can see he's not very fancy. Now, these are not fancy folks. They normally everyday folksies like us. Now, this is sitting out on their porch, and it looks like an old army truck to me. It is really nice. Really nice. He keeps stuff in it out there on his porch. And we went in the house. Now, I looked around. The first thing caught my eye. Check out this telephone. Have you? And now this is not a replica. This is the real thing. I just love that little lamp next to it. You don't think about it, but isn't that neat? Yeah, I like the little old lamp. It's a little kerosene lamp, and he's mounted it. This is an old phone book hanging there. One of the first phone books. I just thought, well, how neat. How very neat. I just thought that was something. And you can see in the background, if you look through that doorway, where he's got a little candle, and he's got this thing with horseshoe. He's always doing something with a horseshoe. And that's actually 3 horseshoes that it's mounted on. I would never thought of that. You know, we go out and buy these in home interior sconces, stuff to hang stuff on the wall, and I thought that was just pretty smart. Now here's another old phone. It's not hardly as old. I remember when we had these on the wall. They hadn't been too many awful years ago. And you know, I can remember when these strings of plastic pepper were real popular. In fact, we had some. I think finally it got old and the peppers fell off of it, but it's in good shape. That's beautiful, beautiful. It's just an old-timey fun thing. And it's just the china cabinet. Now these are beautiful dishes. It's a beautiful set. You can see on top, if you look up at the top of it, there's a kerosene lamp. And over on the side, that little shelf, I hadn't seen one of those in years. Got the wood bread box and pretty curtains, pretty curtains. I just felt like I was on vacation. I tell you. I took a picture of the table setting. I want you to get a good view of this beautiful home. We just enjoyed it so much. Just enjoyed it so much. And this is a beautiful lamp. Now, I tell you, I hadn't seen a lamp like this in many years. And you look behind it is a musical instrument, and you say, Daryl, what's that? I don't know. Have to ask Sonny. Call in next Jeter family he's on and ask him. I don't know, but it's beautiful. And I've never seen one just like it. It looks kind of like a guitar, or maybe a ukulele, or I don't know. I just know it's pretty. It's just the neatest thing. Now, here's a better shot of it. It's just, I just think, take a good look at it. Maybe you can call and tell us what it is. I don't know. Sewing machine. It's sitting on a treadle sewing machine cabinet. Now, I don't know that it's a treadle machine. I think it's the treadle machine cabinet and electric machine sitting on it. But it gave you the feel of an old-timey, being back in the day, as they say, back in the day. And check out these lunch boxes. Now, you don't see these lunch boxes. Well, nobody carries lunch anymore. If I do, they carry a paper sack and throw it away. And this is, it looks like to me Roy Rogers' old horse. But, these toys, they don't make them anymore. Oh, everything's molded and made to sell. And these are actually old toys that belong to their children and their lunch boxes. I thought that was neat. I tried to get a close-up on it, but it's a little blurry. But it's just a neat thing. Now here's a close-up on that lunch box. Check that out. They don't even sell them anymore, don't think. That is really nice. Maybe Gene Autry. But I thought that was the neatest thing. It's an old Western. Her children's lunch boxes from when they were children. This is not a prop. You just don't find stuff like that anymore. Like say everybody carries a lunch in a paper bag and throws it in the trash now. I just thought they were neat. I've got some pictures of the bedroom furniture. Now you can see through this doorway, there's a better picture of it. You can see that dresser. It's just a beautiful old dresser, and this is a close-up of that dish that's hung, and you can tell in this picture that it's actually hung on horseshoes. Now, who would have thought of that? I thought that's pretty smart. That's just pretty smart. Dora says that Sonny's just always coming up with something. I thought that was neat. And now this is back out on the porch. If you look at the, looks like a chandelier, it's actually a wagon wheel up there. Tate said he knew somewhere there was a wagon running around with wheels missing, because he's got a good bit of wagon wheels. In the background, notice the bucket and dipper. You remember the days we used to draw our water up from the well in a bucket? Yeah, and sitting on the table's an old-timey crank ice cream maker. I remember we used to meet out in the backyard, make homemade ice cream, and take turns turning the crank, and those were fun days. Just remember back what fun days they really were. Here's another shot of the porch. You get a closer up of that ice cream bucket. I'm telling you. And here's Sonny playing the banjo. I bet y'all didn't know he played the banjo. He plays a little piano. He plays, if it's music, he plays a little of it. But he really likes the guitar the best. Really, he's good at it. He's real good at it. In the background, you see the little turkey on its nest. I thought, how cute. It's on this little nest, and of course it's a stuffed turkey, but it's just darling. And if you'll notice the old-timey chair. Now, I have a set just like that. Now, I don't have the chairs anymore. They rusted out. I just have the little long bench. But, they don't make them anymore. They really don't. They make stuff that's easier to make and cheaper and easy to sell. But these just lasted the test of time. They really did. And here's Doris sitting on the porch. You see the pretty deer heads, and I reckon that's probably what they put their yoke of mules in. Is what I think hanging there. I don't know. And that's an old-timey cooking pot that's sitting in the center of that wheel. But this is the coolest porch I ever sat on in my life. It is just comfortable. I don't know, my porch is not cool like that. You can't hardly sit on my front porch. But theirs is just in the shade, and it's got a cool breeze. We ate breakfast out there on that table. We did. I have turned the air conditioner on. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Tell you, we live on air conditioning at my house. But their house is just cool as a cucumber. It is really nice. Really nice. There's the tater bug sitting there acting like himself. Yeah, that's what he is doing, all right. And the other side of that yoke, I kind of suspect that maybe they put... well, I hate to say it and sound like an idiot. Ask some guy what they did with them. I don't know. These guys know. You notice the bell hanging on the doorpost. Used to every house had a bell. Every house. And I think they call them old dinner bells. And these are deer horns is what these are. They're horns from the deer that they've went hunting and whatever. The wagon wheels and old chopping axe. I tell you. You really don't see an axe around much anymore. Well, nobody uses them. I guess you don't see them because they're not used. We don't get out and work like our parents and grandparents did. If you think about it, we say, oh, I'm going to do the laundry today. Oh, I'll be worked to death, do the laundry. We don't do the laundry. The machine does. Back in their day, they did the laundry. They had a rub board and they did the laundry. Oh, yes. It's a different day and age. Well, now you can see off the back, and I kind of think maybe that might have a little to do with the porch being so cool. It's a holler down behind there. And, it's always cool down in them hollers. And, it's a lot of trees and Of course, that breeze comes up, and you can see this roof. It just shades out the light. I don't get a lot of sunshine on that porch. But you see the buckets hanging there and the rope, and it's just an old-timey, it just takes you back to another age, another day and age when life was simple. We worked hard. I mean, they worked hard. You look at this saw hanging on that pole. That ain't no power saw there. No, that's a work hard and sweat dripping down you hard working saw. That's a 2-man saw. Cross cut. And now back in them days, they didn't fool around. They had to work. And then over on the other side, you can see that looks like a sickle. But you just, another day, another age, simple life. Everybody was, I tell you what, sometimes I think that's too tired to get into trouble. That's what I figure. But now this saw, and you can tell he's got a horseshoe hanging up there. Got horseshoes everywhere. Horseshoes everywhere. And this bucket is an old-timey well bucket. That's exactly what it is. Sometimes he has that pump out in front. They probably used a pump on their well. But most everybody had well water. And there's my baby turkey. That looks like a turkey to me. Now, it may be a hen, but it looks like a turkey to me. That's sitting on the nest. Yeah, I kind of like that. Now, here's some old wrought iron stuff and buckets. And notice the milk can. You really don't see them much anymore either. You really don't. Just another day and age. Different world. Back when people lived in peace, enjoyed each other, enjoyed their lives. That's something. Now this is a sign, and actually it has their name on it. It doesn't show up real well. I think I was in the shadow or something, but it's, used to every house had them. I believe it says welcome to Doris's home or something similar, and it's used to everybody had them, but now you don't see them much anymore. Used to, I think people made them. I don't think they were bought. I think they were more something you made for a gift. But they were nice. Here's the coffee table out on the porch. Well, you didn't put much coffee on it, but isn't that nice? Yeah, notice the legs. Oh, everything is horseshoes. Everything's country. Everything's horseshoes. Now, I just think that's pretty smart. I'd have never thought of that. That's just pretty neat. And this is in the den. You go in the den in the house, and there's the fireplace, and it's it's got an insert in it. They've got modern heat, but the old-timey atmosphere. Got the ceiling fan, everything's up to date and comfortable, but it's the old-timey atmosphere. It's so nice. Notice the guns hanging over the hearth and pot hanging in the fireplace. You remember the bean pots? Yeah. Well, I got an older television. Still works. And Sunday workers, check out that amplifier. I'm telling you. Here's a closer view. You can take a good look at these guns. It's got a powder horn. Now, this is not plastic replicas. This is the real thing. They've got a powder horn and a kerosene lamp. And on the side, check out that pot hanging on the side of the fireplace. Is that not the neatest thing? I'm not sure. I think they cooked in it, I know. But isn't that neat? Hadn't seen one in years. Here's a good close-up of the bean pot. Now here's the piano I was telling you about. Oh man, is that gorgeous. And you see the picture we saw a while ago, and it's just, it's beautiful. Doris has really done a great job with this stuff. She's a decorator. You notice in the corner they've got a corner shelf with things and pictures, but check out them guitars. You know Sonny Vickers lives there. Here's another shot of it. I just thought it was pretty. I thought that was the neatest thing. Now these are arrowheads, and y'all, they're real arrowheads. I where got them. I don't know. And these are of course, the lays that come from traveling. But check out those arrowheads. Tell me a teenager wouldn't fight to the finish for those. But I don't know where they got them. Oh, that's beautiful. He's been collecting this stuff all his life. All his life. Here's some guitars he's got hanging on the wall, and I believe that one's a dobro. If I'm wrong, Tate Jeter will never let me live it down. But isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty? Here's some guns that are hanging in the den and some old-timey Western pictures. Check out the gun rack. Yeah, just check out the gun rack. Yeah, isn't that neat? Now, who would have thought, here we run out and buy these old wood gun racks, and look at that pretty thing he made. Isn't that something? Yeah. Check out that gun rack. I like that. Here's another shot. I just think they're pretty. Just think they're pretty. And this is the guitar, and I don't know what it is. Nah. Oh man. Never ever live that one down. Here's another shot of the top of the piano. The flowers, and good shot of the mirror. That mirror is so pretty, so pretty. Now in the bedroom, this is a better shot of that dresser. This is a close-up. Now used to your jewelry boxes and stuff like that was built in long years ago. I just thought, well, how pretty, just had to have a picture of that. I thought y'all'd enjoy that. I figured you would. Now here's a closer shot of another gun. Now this is a child's. I believe this is a toy gun. Now that pistol may not be, but I think it is. And you notice that little cowboy hat. I can remember when all the little boys had the little red cowboy. I believe they were Roy Rogers, if I remember right. But can you believe they still got all this stuff? This is toys that they actually belong to their children. There's another shot of I just turned around and took another snapshot of that dresser. I think it's so pretty, so pretty. Beautiful old antique dresser. Gorgeous. Here's a shot of another shot of the bedroom, and these are just beautiful pictures of the bedroom. Then she showed me these quilts. Tell me about these quilts. Is this not gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. You don't see quilts anymore. Look at that. Now these are real these are not machine made. These are handmade quilts. Truly, we see a few little blankets and stuff, but everybody's got heat in their house now, and used to quilting as an art, and it's kind of getting to be a lost art. But truly, everybody's got heat in their house at night, and I can remember going to that room and freezing to death, and your feet were still cold in the morning. Used to, they'd warm a brick at the fireplace and wrap it up in a blanket and put it by your feet trying to stay warm. And they'd pile them quilts on till you about couldn't turn over. How you laid, you just didn't move. Now this is a little Dutch girl quilt, and it is beautiful. My mother-in-law had that pattern, and she made the little Dutch girl quilts. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I cannot quilt. I sew, but I cannot quilt. I tried and tried. My mother-in-law tried to teach me, And one day she said, you know, Daryl, hon, if you'll just sit down over there, I'll make you all the quilts you need. You know why? Yeah. Yeah, you know why. But I thought this was beautiful. This is a beautiful quilt pattern. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Now, I have never seen this little house pattern before. Now, it is beautiful, and I saw it. Every stitch is made by hand. They're even. They're small. This is beautiful. These quilts look to me like they've never been washed. I mean, they are in mint. I'm sure they have, but they're in mint condition. Mint condition. But I thought that was just beautiful. Oh, I just love these quilts. I think they're gorgeous, gorgeous. And you can take a look at these. I think this horseshoe talent is beyond belief. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I've never in my life, just cannot imagine. So pretty, so pretty. And so smart, using what he had. Just using what he had. Thought it was past pretty. And this is the most beautiful old memory. You say, well, it's no washboard. Yeah, but in my day, that's what we had. I had one that was not as wide as this one. I remember when I went to the hardware store and I got up enough money to buy it. Well, it was cheaper. It was cheaper. And I didn't have any money. And when I got up enough money to buy it, it says, the man said to me, he said, well, I guess you're going to wash doll clothes on that one. I said, well, probably not. Well, now, if you look up, sitting on top of this washboard is a bar of lye soap. She took it down and showed it to me, and I promise it's lye soap, and nothing smells like lye soap. But they used to wash their clothes in it. They took a bath in it. I can remember when my mother-in-law washed her hair in it. Now, it looked like that'd be a little tough on the hair. But this is the laundry room. She said, oh, don't take pictures of my laundry room. I said, but it's gorgeous. Love it, love it. Now, this is a better picture of Sonny and Doris when they were younger. Isn't that pretty? You see her playing the accordion. She played it here a few weeks ago on the Jeter Family program. I thought that was neat. Very talented lady. Very talented. And here's Tate and Sonny out on the porch doing their favorite thing, hon. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. And they's having a blast. They were having a ball. And I tell you what, when I came home, I was tired, but I felt like I'd been on vacation. I absolutely felt like I had been somewhere, and I just looked around. Everything looked so pretty here, and I thought, oh, past the little General Dollar. Why, you'd think I'd been gone for a month. You'd think I had. And I just enjoyed it so much, so much. So I thought, because I enjoyed it so much, I thought maybe you would. I wanted to share my vacation with you. This is Daryl Jeter, Daryl's Little Corner.
Having financial difficulties and don't know where to turn? Call your friends at Capital Loans, 1322 City Avenue North in Ripley. Capital Loan offers the all-exclusive 30-day loan. Pay back in 30 days and keep your interest costs low. We offer monthly installment loans. With your financial situation, we can help. Come by or call Capital Loans today at 1322 City Avenue North, 837-9193. Capital Loans, best money in town.
At Systems Electrical and Plumbing, we do residential, commercial, and industrial. There's no job too big or too small, and we provide 24-hour emergency service. Contact us at 662-993-8965 or 662-587-2968. That's SISM. City Medical Supply has your home health equipment and supplies. If we don't have it, we will get it. Located at 1703 City Avenue North, we are HQAA accredited and accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most private insurances. We are here for you.
Jeter at Daryl's little corner. We're at the Ripley Mason Lodge, number 47, where we've come to the second Saturday breakfast. I do appreciate being invited, and they let us bring you along. They really do a good thing. They honor someone in Tippah County that has done something positive to help the county each month. And, that's really a good thing. They open it to the public. If you've not been, you need to get up one morning and come down for the second Saturday breakfast at the Ripley Mason Lodge. We can see them gathering in and getting ready, so let's go on in.
I'm proud to see all y'all at the Mason meeting at breakfast this morning, and just everybody's enjoying themselves at eating this good food, drinking coffee, honoring Van Malone on September the 14th, 2013. We're glad to have you. And I'm going to get around the back to him in a little bit, but I'm going to skip him right now. And Mark, you want to say something right there?
Well, I was going to say, I could say Mr. Long's wore so many different hats, caps. I don't know which one to say he does or hasn't done, but he's been in public service, what have you, and just everybody that knows and likes him. And I was just going to say that, the older candidates don't die, they just lose your balance. He said he's been tinkering for years, and he's joined us today.
Thank you, Mark. I'm going to skip these wheels, okay? Get back to them later. You ain't going to believe I used to be called a wheel and handling straps.
Oh, you still a wheel.
Okay, I'll let Homer start here then. He's one of our aldermen. Go ahead, Homer, stand up.
I don't want to get up or not. So full of that good breakfast, I can't hardly move this morning, but I just want to thank y'all for having me down to honor Mr. Malone. We've been friends for, I'm not going to say how many years, that tells about how old we are, but quite a few years. He's always did work for me, and I always thought the world of Van, and just glad to see him this morning, him and his wife both down here. Thank y'all.
Homer, let's stand up a minute. Could you tell me, one time I've known Homer a long time, you tell me something good about Van when y'all boys ride around and maybe someone get drinking and he'd always drive home. Could you tell that?
He was our designated driver, right?
See that?
A few of us have a little nip, but
I appreciate it knowing that he was a designated driver, okay?
If he'd come around a little bit more, I might start back.
Man, that right here's a new guy, the alderman, Sir John Grissom.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me come here today. I always enjoy it. Know Mr. Malone the majority of my life, and appreciate the service you've done to the city, Mr. Man. Thank you.
All right. Jackie McKenzie, another good alderman.
Hello, I'm proud to be here this morning in honor of Mr. Malone and his wife, and thanks for the invite this morning. And I've heard many good things on him, for the mayor when he was serving as mayor, and it takes people like it in order to help keep this city going. We just so appreciate everything you've done ahead of us. Thank you.
Every good man is a good woman right here. It's Pat Owens right here. You want to say something, Pat?
I sure do.
All right.
Brad was a good man, very good man, and I enjoyed knowing his father. He was a real character. He was a good neighbor and used to bring us food and stuff like that.
Oh, my goodness, bring us
He's a good
fruit
man.
stuff.
He's a good man.
Ben, there's somebody bragging on you down here.
Oh, I hear that. I'll pay you right after. That's all I want.
Put the chair and let you brag a little bit there.
Taking notes.
Oh, I'm making
I had a tax problem once, and I took it to him. It was resolved with no penalty and interest. He moved. I had a similar problem. It cost me $300. $300. And also, we were totally surprised to hear that the driveway we use at the church building probably belongs to him. He got real nervous. He said it was all right. Said even if I sell it, I'll tell him that you still need the driveway. He's a good neighbor, and I agree with Pat. I have to most of the time. But she said that we really enjoy knowing your father. And he'd knock on our door and bring us something every now and then, turnip greens. And he said the other preacher wouldn't eat them. And I said, well, I will. But we like him. We've had a good neighbor. We appreciate your being there. Thank you for your help.
All right, that's very good. All right. Right here, Brandon, go ahead there.
Well, this is an enjoyable occasion for me because Ben and I had contact back a long time ago, and I have not seen him in years, and I'm glad to see him again. I'm gonna make mine short and sweet because if I start telling stuff on him, he's liable to start telling stuff on me. But Ben was one of the first people I met and got acquainted with when I came to Ripley about 73, 74, something like that. And good to see you again, Ben, and we're happy to honor you this morning.
Thank you, Ryan.
Right here, Mark Hamill, say something, Mark.
I've known Van a long time. I used to work with Natchez Construction. He took care of all my taxes, and he's helped me out a lot. So I appreciate it.
We have a Monday night meeting. I look for what he brings in. I notice his wife probably fixes it up. It's always real good food. See if you can get old Tate over there for me.
I've known Van for, like you said, too long to mention, I guess, about 50, 55 years. I remember when he was a car hop. Do you remember that, Van?
I certainly do, Tate. I certainly
We used to eat him what was the name of that burger? Big D or something?
Eddie Burger.
Yeah, 80 burger. But that has been about 50, I'd say close to 55 years ago. But anyway, I wish him well. He's done good. He's a fine fellow. And hope him and I'll be around a while.
I hope so. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tate. Bonnie McCash right here, past Alderman. You sit down and stand up either way. Bonnie Cash.
Well, I've known Van a long time, and I appreciate the honoring him today. I served as an alderman under him, and that shows you that I'm pretty old. But I enjoyed it very much. Van done a lot of good things for the city, and we appreciate him very much. I knew his mother longer than I did Van. She used to work at the plant where I worked with Van, and she was a fine person. Very fine person. And we appreciate y'all honoring Van this morning. Thank you very much.
We got Miss Smith here. That's up there, I'll you on that counter. She takes care of my niece, Beth Cook and dog.
Yeah, we try to keep up with each other. Well, I've known Van for a long time, and he's always been our friend. And I appreciate that wonderful breakfast and being here this morning.
Man, you must have ate something I didn't eat when you was growing up. You still got most of your hair.
Okay, start with right here.
I'm Joey Stevenson. I'm a member of the Mississippi House of Representatives representing Tippah County. I'd like to thank Brother Felix for inviting us. He always shows so much hospitality. It does not matter if you're here at the Mason Lodge or if you're at his church in Blue Mountain. It's amazing the hospitality he shows you. I'd like to thank the cooks, Mr. Gurgeon, I know Mark Evans helped, Dr. Hill was in there, all the cooks. It was really good, and it'll keep my wife and them cook breakfast when I get back home. But I like to get to see all the aldermen here, and Mayor. It's been a pleasure to work with y'all, Senator Parks as well. I've known Van Malone and a long time, and he is worthy of this honor. And he was a dear friend of my father when my father was fire chief here, and when you served as mayor. He has been a dear friend to my mother's family, the Shacklefords, and my grandfather back when he was serving years ago. And he's been a dear friend to both sides of my family. He's been a dear friend of mine, and it's a pleasure to call him a friend.
Thank you. Van Malone, our present mayor, okay? No, Chris Marcel, he's the mayor right now. I was going to vote for Van Malone. I believe I'd have voted for Van Malone if he'd run against you, okay? I appreciate it. I love Van Malone. Let him say something now. Okay, Chris.
Chris Marsalis, current mayor. I'm proud to be here with Mr. Van Malone and also Mike Harrison. It's proof that you can live through this job.
He's still got his hair.
Looking very, very well. And it's just my honor to be your mayor, and I'll do anything I can to help Ripley. I'm walking in some big shoes. Some great men have held this position before me, and it's a stewardship role, and you just take what's been done before you and keep it going and build on that. And we got a great example in Mr. Van and the other previous mayors. So thankful for the opportunity. Thank you all for the meal this morning. It's delicious as always.
Mike Harrison here.
Okay.
Dirty campaign.
Dirty campaign. Well, it's an honor to be here, and I thank Philip Jones and Masons. The breakfast was great as always. And it's definitely an honor to be here it's a pleasure to be here to honor Van Malone. I can tell you how long I've known Van Malone. I've known Van Malone for 55 years. Because, thank you, Mark. Of course, I'm going to tell you, I was a little boy when I met him. I moved to Van's neighborhood when I was 10 years old in 1958, and that's where I met Van and his parents, and lived there for the rest of my life before I married and everything. But there was a place where I worked, W.C. Phillips Grocery, and we didn't have a McDonald's on that side of town back then, and that's where all the older gentlemen would meet. And I worked there, and Mr. Phillips paid me $1 a day, and I thought it was a lot of money. But the older gentlemen would come in, they talk politics, and that's what I think I became interested in politics, because I learned a lot from those old wise gentlemen. Occasionally, a young man would come in, older than me, of course, but it was Van Malone. And we would talk, and I didn't talk, him and Mr. Phillips talked with me because of the age difference in us and everything. But Van would come in, and he was always friendly and smiled. But I remember every time that he would leave, Mr. Phillips said, "You know, that young man, he's going to make something of himself." And I remember Mr. Phillips, he was a dear friend of mine. But he would always say that about Van. And of course I agreed with him, I thought he would too. And I thought since then, actually I thought of it this morning, I thought, you know, Mr. Phillips, I don't know if he ever said that about me. But he did say it about Van. But I was thinking, I said, there Mr. Phillips, 85 years old, running that little store, and here he has two young men there, and he didn't know he was in the presence of future greatness. Because both of those young men would someday serve the city as mayor. and I say that very humbly. I served as mayor, and I was very humble at it. It was, I loved the city of Ripley, and it was certainly a pleasure to do that. Van has always been a dear friend of mine. He introduced me to the first speech I ever made after I became mayor at Memorial Day in 2001. And he did a great job introducing me. I don't know how the speech went, but he did a great job. But Van, congratulations. You've been a great person, a great friend.
Thank you, Mike.
You always will be. Thank y'all.
Y'all, a good-looking senator. Stand up, tell them your name.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Senator Rita Potts Parks. I represent the 4th District, that's 10th District in Dillon, Alcorn County. It's such an honor to be here this morning. I thank you, Mr. Jones, for allowing me to be here and be here in the lodge here this morning. Thank you, gentlemen, for the wonderful breakfast. The biscuit maker this morning, he did an excellent job. But it is an honor to be here this morning. Growing up as a child over in Corinth, my dad was a member of the local lodge, and several generations of my family as well. And that was something that we did not do. And so when I was invited, it was like, well, will there be other ladies there? And I come. So it's very interesting to be here this morning. And I thank you again for allowing me to be here at the breakfast. Again, it was wonderful. And Mayor, it has been an honor to sit by you this morning. Get to know you. You know, public service, as you and I were talking a few minutes ago, it is something that humbles you. It's something that you have to have a heart for. And as I've listened to everyone speak this morning, I can definitely tell you had a huge heart for this city. And what an honor it is for this city to have had you. So, again, thank you for your public service. And thank you for allowing me to sit by you this morning. And you all for letting me be here this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now then, we're going to find out how we're going to let his wife, beautiful wife, say something. Stand up there.
I just want to say how much I appreciate y'all doing this. It means a lot. And thank you for the breakfast. It was wonderful, and we have really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
I'll tell y'all, somebody down there told about Van doing the tax work. In 1911, I made a big mistake, and I got a bill come back from Internal Revenue that scared me to death. I don't mean hundreds of dollars, we're up higher than that. And I went over to Van, and he says, well, let's get together here and make a call. And somehow or another, the woman in Texas had him on the phone and said, I'm going to email something to you right now. And Van said, well, get this in the mail. In a few days, you should be all cleared. And I think I had to pay $900. But Van has been a special friend of mine. And about his past, his wife, Sister Kay, used to be in his wife's place now. And one day James Gunn come in and said, I got to pay that much taxes. And she said, here comes Mr. Felix Jones. How much I get to pay? She said, such a difference. And the other guy said, how much I get to pay? You know, I'm proud of my country. I'm proud of every penny I pay the government because I earned it. And I'm proud of my country. I just want, but Van fixed that up to me and got it down to $37. Van, thank you. And I tell you, he's been a special friend of mine. When I came down out of the Air Force, my brother Earl Jones said, you got to meet the mayor. I ain't never met a mayor in my life. You got to see this old Van Malone. And I tell you what, he loved Van Malone. He's gone now, but Van Malone will always be close to me. He had a daughter drive my school bus and ride a little piece, and I loved her and love all the family. And now then, Brother Van, I'm going to let you stand, and next hour or two, go right ahead.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I hope y'all like impromptu, because that's what you're going to get. Because you know Mr. Felix. You know, he said, yeah, you just got to say thank you and a few little words there and stuff. First of all, I want to thank, of course, the ones that prepared our meal today. It was very, very good. Mr. Shopper, the grits, you know, and everybody, the business, but everything was so good, and the ones that volunteer their time, that's so important, you know, in doing this. They get here early, they prepare, then they clean up after us slouches, I guess. You know, this is more special to me, you know, than I thought it would be, and it's always good to, whether it's your work or whether it's public service or whatever it is, it's always good to be recognized for that. I'm honored by the ones that are here, the ones that are sitting here that actually serve in public, like Senator Parks, Representative here, John, everyone, and the ones that have served. They have an understanding of this, and they will understand what I'm about to say, is that the ones that make each one of these folks good, whether it's Homer, Jody, John, Senator Parks, Mike, are the people who don't serve, the people who have really never served and really don't care about serving. You know, because if they support things that goes on, and you have to do, the ones that do that, do it without knowledge of the whole situation. Senator Parks has been sharing some things that she's been going through in the last weeks with insurance and those kind of things. Something folks like us, and I can be one of us now, because I'm not in the public sector and I won't be in the public sector, but I feel that I have a duty and I have a privilege to support those that are. And that the fact that she is willing to do that, the fact that Jody is willing to take off to Jackson at a moment's notice, you know, because some committee's got to meet and they need his input, or maybe they don't need his input, but he wants to input because he's hearing, you know, hey, this needs to be done. And so they do it out of a calling, and Senator Parks mentioned that a minute ago, but we're the ones, we are absolutely the ones that support them, and we're the ones that give them the strength to do it. The offices are very important. The people that serve in them are very important. But don't lose sight of the fact that we're the most important. We are the people that they serve. And they feel that way. The people that are in public service, I assure you, those years that I did that, that's exactly the way I felt. And politics is, you know, it can be all messed up. It can be, you know, but it's what we've got. And I still say the founding fathers knew what they were doing. And no matter how you feel about these times that we're in now, you wait and see. It's gonna get straightened out. But the folks that are doing it, they really have some challenges. So we owe them our support. They need it. They need an encouraging word. And don't worry that you don't understand everything about it. I mean, you can try to find out things, and you should. In the city area, I'm so proud of Chris and the job that he's doing now. I'm proud of what Mike did. And honestly, I go back to Mr. Lowry Smith. I go back to Dennis Dixon, Mr. Clarence Witt, to Kerry Hill. They all did things. The Bonnie Cavendishes, the J.W. Duncans, the Sperry Reeves Sr. and Jr., the Homer Richardsons, the ones that serve as aldermen, they can never be given the credit that they deserve. And they don't expect it, because, you know, this public service thing is not it's not a get-rich thing, and it's certainly you're not going to make any money doing it. I mean, if you do, then you're wrong for it, and we'll put you out anyway. So, but I appreciate them. Jackie, I appreciate the job you do. Yes. very proud of all the folks in the city of Ripley, but I'm proud of other cities too, and other areas, and ones that I'm especially proud of those that really support the folks that are serving in public office, because they a lot of times they get some things that they do deserve, and then a lot of times they get some bad things that they don't deserve as well. So thank you again for the breakfast. I know I will think of things that I wish I had said to different ones, and but I do appreciate it. I appreciate the recognition. Good crowd, and this is what makes Ripley Ripley. Is that we've got the kind of people here that like to do these kind of things. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And Chris, Marcel, and all of them are doing a good job. Chris, I'm gonna tell you, when y'all was all running back here, and Meeks out here was running, and Randy Graves running, that there Meeks would say, call old Randy Meeks when you go up there. And that's just a little thing that we had going, you know, and I said, man, a long while ago, I meant that's an honor, okay? When I called y'all wheels, I mean, to me, you're our wheel, okay? And I tell you, this lady just made our day. I appreciate her being here, and I appreciate you being here, Mark Pannell. He's an officer here and been in every chair, and we appreciate him and his wife. Does anybody else have anything to say? Brother Jerry, come up here, please. Brother Lou Allen was supposed to be here, Chris Lou Allen, but something must happen last minute. He told me Matt didn't do it, but we got a guy here can take you. I want you to pray a prayer and dismiss him. Try to hear.
A little, I have. One day, Mayor Mike invited me to City Hall to speak to the government, and I took advantage of it to say a few things while I was there. And I told them that we are told from the Bible that we owe you honor, custom, and tribute. And we want to do that, and we want to do it willingly. But we want you to understand, too, that as our representatives, you're serving God. And you are God's ministers of good to us. And I don't know, politicians have been called a lot of things, but have you ever been called ministers, God's ministers before? That's the way I'd like for you to see your job, and I promised City Hall that day I'll not even ask for a truckload of gravel. Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful for the assembly here today, for the things that we've enjoyed. And most of all, Father, we want to turn our attention to our community and to those who serve it and make it the blessed place that it is. Go with them, Father, to their places of responsibility and duty. Help them and us to remember that we're serving you when we serve each other, for this is characteristic of your Son, Jesus Christ. And we'll live in this fashion. We'll ask you to bless us in his name. Amen.
Let me tell everyone, we're going to meet outside the door, and we'll want some pictures taken in this crowd, okay? Everybody just enjoy yourself, they call me, but we're going to make some pictures.
This is Daryl Jeter at Daryl's Little Corner. Be sure to watch the Jeter family Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Tune us in again next Monday at 7 o'clock for Daryl's Little Corner. My God.